I raced Ironman Mont Tremblant over the weekend where I was hoping to get some redemption after a very tough race there last year where I learned just how important salt was, but unfortunately this year was once again a disappointing result. The race day started off with a 1 hour delay because there was some fog over the lake. Ultimately, I don't think that had a big impact on my race. I hadn't handed in my morning clothes bag yet, so I was able to stay warm and I was able to keep some fluids going into me. My race started off with a really great swim. Typically, I don't do so well on beach starts compared to deep water starts, and Tremblant is a beach start, but I felt like I was able to get off the line really well and get into a good pack and that I was swimming really well. It took Lauren Brandon until almost the turnaround this year to come blowing by me, so got a little bit further along the course this year. I just felt really strong overall in the swim. It was about 58 minutes. It was a really great non-wetsuit swim for me. T1 was uneventful, and I came rolling out of transition ready to just focus on my own race on the bike. My goal was to stick to 250 watts, and for about the first 80 kilometers of the race, that's exactly what I was able to do. Sticking to my power, I wasn't pushing it too hard, which I typically do early on in races where I end up going accidentally on purpose a little bit over my power, but I was sticking right to that 250 number, and I was feeling really strong. And then coming back down Duplessis is where things started to unravel. My lower back was really sore, and I felt a little twinge when I was in the swim, but then for the rest of the swim, it didn't really bother me, and for the first about 80K, it was fine. Then it just got super uncomfortable. So not only was I not able to stay in an aero position, I had to stretch a lot, and I wasn't able to generate any sort of power on the bike. I think my first loop on the bike, I was about 2 hours and 21 minutes, and that included me dropping a chain on the bike. And for the second loop, I think I was about 13 or 14 minutes slower than that. Coming off the bike, I was still hopeful that I could have a good run. My goal heading into the race was to run a sub 3 hour marathon. And I didn't know if that was going to necessarily be in the cards, but I did still think I was going to put together a solid time. So I took my time in T2 to try and stretch my back out a little bit. And over the first couple kilometers of the run, I wasn't concerned about pace. I was just hoping to let my back loosen up and find my stride. And that's pretty much what happened. By about 4K, I was able to open up my stride a little bit, and I was feeling pretty good until about 14 or 15K, and then that's when my back started to seize up again, and I started having some issues with my stomach. From that point on, it was just a slog. My pace slowed down considerably, and there was times where I was forced to stop and try and stretch my back out or just walk, and the race turned into just survival and getting to the finish line. This is my 8th Ironman. It's the first time I've had any sort of injury type issue in a race. It certainly makes for a long day out there. I want to say congrats to everybody who made it across the finish line, and a big congratulations to Cody Beals, who picked up the win in Ironman Mont Tremblant in his debut. Cody's the type of athlete that's really easy to cheer for. He's a tremendous ambassador for the sport, and he's always very generous with his time, being very transparent about his training and his racing. So if you don't follow his blogs or watch his videos, I definitely recommend you check them out. I'll put links to them in the description down below. In terms of what's next on my race schedule, really looking forward to going back to the Montreal Demi-Esprit half iron distance triathlon in September. It's a race I did a couple years ago where you get to bike around the Formula 1 track, and it was a ton of fun. Thanks a lot for checking out this week's video. If you like what you see, you can click the subscribe button down below. And until next time, happy training.
Oh, this you crazy mother.